What's up, YouTube? This is the Big Fish Network, home for Miami Dolphin fans worldwide, and I'm back on screen once again. We had some player visits not too long ago that I wanted to talk about. FAU DB Zion Gilbert, who we brought in for a visit, and we're gonna be bringing in some more players. It looks like there's gonna be a first wave, second wave, and then it's gonna be a third wave of players that we might bring in before the draft, and this is one of them. I looked at his tape. Solid tackler. What I like when I watch the tape is for his size at 6'1". I mean, 6'1", 175 pounds. He might have bulked up a little bit more at FAU, but I know from what they had in his high school tape that I watched, he was 6'1", 175. Like I said, he might be 180, 185 now. But for his size, man, he know how to lay that lumber, man. He know how to lay that wood. And he knows how to use his lower body torque and explosion to add pop to his hits and to his tackles. All y'all gotta do is just turn on the film and just watch. This man know how to tackle, man. So I see why Greer brought him in. He knows how to square up his shoulders, why he's in pursuit, why the running back is running the ball. He knows how to time it just right, square up his shoulders, and deliver that punch, deliver that blow. It's interesting that Greer brought him in for a visit because I really don't think safety is really a need for us. But, you know, so it's interesting that he brought him in. I mean, we already got Brandon Jones, who I really think was productive early on in his career. As soon as he got to the team, Flores knew how to find a way to use him. Boyer knew how to use him as well on blitz pressures. Last year, Eric Rowe held it down as well as far as covering tight ends. Even in 2019, since he's been here, he's just done a good job of covering tight ends, better than as good as Rashad Jones was for us, because he was a great safety for us. With no doubt, I'm not taking nothing away from Rashad Jones. I noticed we was getting beat by tight ends a lot under Gase and under Philbin when Rashad Jones was back there. I don't know if that's because Rashad was just trying to look for the big play all the time, but he was getting beat. But our safeties have done a great job, a better job, I should say, of covering the tight ends. You're going to get beat in this league. That's just the way it is because everybody's so good, especially at the skill positions. But I think our safeties played pretty good, since Chris Greer drafted him. With Zion Gilbert, even though he played cornerback and free safety in high school and college, to me he looked more like a strong safety just based on his tackling prowess. This draft is deep at safety. We may be able to get him probably later in the draft, maybe later on, maybe I say the 6th round. He's not gonna go in the 1st, 2nd round. I would say probably the 4th, 5th, 6th round, 7th round. He's a good player to keep our eyes on, and I can see that they got him on the board. We also brought in Georgia linebacker Channing Tindall, who could be selected in the 2nd or 3rd round. When I watched his tape, I felt like he made some real good splash plays in the Senior Bowl and looked legit in most of the drills. Most of the drills I saw, he looked like he was legit, had good lateral movement, good quickness, and was decisive in the drills. No hesitation. That's what I like. He's on a lot of scouts draft boards. A lot of scouts draft boards, not just us. What I noticed from the Senior Bowl game is he does a good job of keeping himself clean. Meaning he knows how to block shed pretty good. Good block shedding, keeping himself clean in pursuit, and just finds the football. Finds the running back, finds the gaps. I like what I saw from him at the Senior Bowl. Seemed like he know how to dissect misdirection runs, where the nose tackle's getting double team, double contact. He was able to swipe, sidestep, and find the gap, spear the ball carrier, get him down on the ground. That's what I like. So he's a good player to look at. I'm glad we brought him in. We also brought in Columbia cornerback Will Allen Jr. Seemed like it's a lot of Will Allens that play defensive back. Every time, it seemed like every DB, a lot of DBs, I should say, is named Will Allen. But there's a lot of DBs we choose too. I think we done had 2 Will Allens on this team so far, or one Will Allen. But we brought him in from Columbia, so he's an interesting cornerback to take a look at. And we signed veteran punter Thomas Morstead. I watched his tape from last year, and he placed a lot of kicks inside of the 10. I think Matt Pilardi did a good job too, so I don't know why we didn't keep him. He's younger, but I ain't gonna lie. I mean, Morstead did a great job. He has some good high dropping kicks that allowed the Gunners to get down the field before the ball got there. And, he did it in key divisional games. And another thing I like is he got a good, quick kick release. Just like how quarterbacks have to have a good arm release, I want my punter to have a good a quick kick release, because that's good when rushers get in. Sometimes they get in. You want your punter that knows how to parry, get to the side, get that kickoff real quick. So I noticed that. And I reference back to Don Shula, as I always do. He drafted Marino and punter Reggie Roby in the same draft. A lot of people don't pay attention to little subtle things like that, when it comes to the draft, when it comes to what does this team need. Because like I said, when Shula got to the Dolphins, they already had a lot of good skilled players. But as a coach coming to a new franchise, he's filling in the gaps. He's bridging the gaps. What do we need that we're lacking? What's going to give us that edge? So not only did he draft a quarterback that got a quick release to get that passing game to be better than it was, even though it was good and effective, still wasn't explosive and dynamic. That's what Marino added. Tua can add that on our offense, but you also want to think about what Flores always talks about, the kicking game. Offense, defense, and the kicking game. Yes, that shit does matter. It matters a lot. And Roby was out there booting that shit back in the days. And he should get a lot of credit for all of our 80s and 90s team success. He was booting that shit. And he was able to place the ball anywhere on the field. You always hear coaches say, end every drive with a kick. Punters are almost kind of a part of the defense. They're part of the defense. If we can have teams start inside of the 10 on 90% of their drives, we're going to win a lot of games. Those are facts. Just playing solid defense, great special teams, we're going to win a lot of games. When you look at the Patriots Super Bowl teams with Brady, one of the hidden reasons why Brady was so successful was the Patriots mostly had great field position on a lot of their drives. Most of their offensive drives, they were starting on like the 35, 40, 50-yard line and capitalizing off of turnovers and having the ball inside of the 50 on your side of the ball. So things like that. That's where Flores got that shit from. The kicking game. We won games from Flores helping us win through the kicking game. I want Mike McDaniel and I want our special teams to continue to do that. Do the same thing. That's also important. And we got to make sure that we get a good kick return. Hopefully we can find one in this draft. I know we got some on the team, but I really want Waddle and I want Tyreek Hill to mostly focus on offense. And I want to get another receiver. Hopefully we can get one in the draft. Maybe a guy like Bo Melton, who we can have back there that can take it the distance. We got to think about that in this draft as well. But I like the fact that we brought them in. It's going to be another wave of players that we're going to bring in that I'm going to talk about. Some of them, there's a couple of them that we already brought in that I'm not going to include in this video, but it's going to be in the next video. Y'all stay tuned and lay around for it. Till next time, signing off, TBFN.